Ladies and gentlemen, with the Blue Shadow virus in full swing, it should be about time that someone set the record straight on what exactly is happening and how this has all happened, since the leadership of the Republic continues to remain silent on this front. These abhorrent actions have come to be expected from our inept leadership that cares more about their own special interest in private lives than they do the people. Yet even in the optimal situation, the Republic is still susceptible to disasters like this. It is part of its inherent nature that disease is to spread much faster, taking many forms. These diseases, such as tyranny and corruption, come with over-centralization. So why would we expect anything different from the virus? Indeed, because of how quickly the virus spread, we can see clearly that not only is the TLF and the centrists at fault that the virus spread so quickly, but rather it is the fault of the entire Republican system. If we accept these principles to be true, then there can only be one logical outcome: dissolution. Any other middle ground makes us weak and reliant on those who wish to kill and oppress the lower classes to merely survive. The same people who let the virus get out of hand are now in control of finding a solution to the pandemic. The same people who caused your loved ones to die are now in control of saving your life. It is as if a glazier breaks your window and then offers to fix it for a price. That isn't a compassionate body looking out for your own best interest, but rather a thug that will shake you down for all your worth. This is the way of the Republic. Yet there has always been an alternative, unlike what those manipulative revisionists try to tell you. The Chiss are an example of this. Despite not being the optimal system, the lack of centralization already makes them far better than the Republic in an alternative. And this has been proven by the pandemic. They were able to block their spread of the disease and have managed to remain self-reliant and strong despite the hit to the budget of their corporate interests. This self-reliance is something that needs to be achieved by all worlds. We must be able to make our own decisions regarding trade and governance without the interference of overlords who care little about our strife. Yet the Chiss model is not perfect. If the virus does manage to intercept Chiss space, there is no guarantee that they will be able to prevent greater spread and tragedy. This is because the Chiss and the Republic are fundamentally the same thing. They are both merely empires. The goal of both is to exert an imperialistic power without concern for any of the working classes of the world they control. Because of this, we must know that only an independent planet can remain safe from such disasters. Only an independent planet can defend itself from the interference of external corporate interests and other manipulations and diseases that come to infect the bloated empires of our galaxy. Of course, while this is all true, there are those within the Galactic Senate who wish to make things worse for you than they already are. They force our borders to remain open and give a right to any random person to go anywhere they please without getting the consent of the governed in these areas. This kind of integrationist action helps spread core world culture and imperialism, while also spreading the diseases of corruption and, of course, the Blue Shadow virus. Such things cannot be allowed to stand, since such things first and foremost undermine the working classes and forces them to abandon their way of life, merely to appease the misguided and diseased morals of their overlords hundreds of parsecs away. Needless to say, with all this in mind, we can see why we, the workers, must take it to heart that while the centrists and the TLF are to blame for the rapid spread of the virus because of their lack of action, it is first and foremost the fault of the Republic for the virus's spread, just as it is for every other disease that spreads throughout the galaxy. This is why I ask, no, I beg you to remember the 3 principles and never forget. the concept of dissolution, since everything else makes the people susceptible to the rule of imperialists who wish to exploit you. Do not trust the liars. Always stay true to the cause. Always stay true to Tapalo. Anything else makes you a slave to disease. With this in mind, I leave you now. Good night, my eternal workers' family. May the 3 eternal principles of Tapalo guide you. Until we meet again, this is Soloniko Tapalo, signing off.